We are live once again. WrestlePurists Dynamite Recap Podcast, hosted by myself, Charlie, Big AO. We're going to recap AEW Dynamite. Ace Steel's AEW release. Thunder Rosa seems to be ready to return. And I want to kick around kind of what could be next for the Elite. And plus whatever else comes up in the live chat or whatever else seems to break whilst we're live. Sure, there's a few things we can get into. First things first, please like, subscribe. Super chat if you're feeling generous, always appreciated. Get your questions, get your takes in, and please turn on the post notifications. Hope everyone's doing good. Starting with my fellow co-hosts, Charlie. Just got up from a nap. God bless. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, it's been a long day. I had to go to my university accommodations and go get the rest of my stuff moved out properly. Officially not a student anymore, so that's fun. But excited to talk about Dynamite. It was a good show last night. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was a good show. It was a good show. I'm very much there. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it from top to bottom. Very good stuff. Big AO back again on the Thursdays. What's good?
Back like I never left on the Dynamite review shows. Generational Dynamite last night. Swerve and Hangman, face to face. Segment for the bad bitches, as Chuck would say. Segment for the real niggas, as Big AO would say. I enjoyed Dynamite a lot last night. Very excited to talk about it with the gang.
Yeah, man, good stuff, good stuff. But yeah, hope everyone in the live chat is doing good. Couple super chats just to start us off. Please keep them coming in. Going to get into them first before we get into the Dynamite recap. Karan, 100 rupees, always appreciated. A negative. That AR Fox storyline went from giving us a new heel to producing 3 unlikable faces. Darby looks like a bad friend and Nick's a wuss. Well, he definitely was.
I agree with 23.
Yeah, he don't. The way the storyline went wasn't the original intention. I think it's pretty clear to say. Of course, with AR Fox's travel issues, not being able to make Wembley, and things having to get moved around. Of course, he's no longer in the American Embassy, and the way that the baby faces have been kind of dragged into it is very weird for the reasons that Karan has mentioned. So. Yeah, definitely a weird
I
one.
don't agree that Nick looks like a wuss, bro. Like, he's obviously like not standing for this shit.
Yeah.
He didn't say like a wuss would be like, okay, AR Fox, big bro Darby, so we're cool against so cool. Like, I think he's doing a good job.
But he's just a kid, man. You know,
Yeah,
it's like how much of a good job can he really do in this position? You know, it's that match last night in the main event was interesting, but we'll get into it. Hold on, I didn't even read that one. Karan, 200 rupees appreciated. Thought MJF may have flown a little close to the corny babyface son yesterday, but he survived on charisma and awesome Jonas. Fair. Dynamite ruled. Cassidy has become the new main character of AEW for me. Yeah, man, he's definitely a huge corner piece of AEW at the moment. You know, he's not one of their main babyfaces, man. Could argue that he's the main babyface, especially after the past couple of weeks. Like, he's just main evented a pay-per-view. You know, he just opened Dynamite up last night.
Yeah.
You know, the people love him. And I'm sure everyone's interested to see what's next for Orange Cassidy. Bam, $5, appreciate it, as always. Just wanted to send support to Charlie. Whatever you decided to do, you're going to kill it because you're elite. Monty and AO, big thank you to you both. Appreciate you, Bam. And yeah, we're all supporting Charlie, you know. Making these big grown up decisions, Charlie, you know.
Yeah.
Scary
Big
times, you know.
It's very scary times sometimes. Like, gotta do what you gotta do. So it's good times.
You know. Of course it is. Of course it is. We look forward to the future, and you're going to be the number one media personality in just a matter of a couple of years, you know. We got it all figured out.
The truth is, Monty forced Chuck to jump out of his cheese, and you just don't have enough time to do this and WrestlePurists and do it. You make all the dates we need you to do. So she will be at Wrestle Dream. No. She will be at Full Gear. She might be at Wrestle Dream. But, you know.
If I can make it work. We'll see what happens.
Monty put his foot down. He said we need you in these rooms. So it was just, all that school shit is done. It's over with.
Something like that.
Forever.
Something like that. Yeah, but yeah, appreciate you, Bam, as always. And, like I said, something like that. AEW Dynamite, Indianapolis, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And it was a very good time. It was a very good time. There was a lot of highlights, a lot of people talk about Samoa Joe MJF. A lot of people talk about Swerve and Hangman. Some people may talk about Roderick Strong's latest art pieces. It was also nice to see Emi Sakura on the show in a singles match, of course, wrestling Statlander for the TBS title. We got to see Ozzy Open. There was a lot of good stuff. There was the latest in Delusional Toni Storm, which everyone has been enjoying. And like I said, it was a pretty good show from top to bottom, putting it very lightly. I wanna start with kind of our favourite things from the show. MJF versus Samoa Joe seems like something that is, we're getting moving with that now. Samoa Joe has entered the tournament to potentially face MJF at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe. And, of course, they did the brawl angle at AEW All Out. Absolutely loved that angle. The way chaos just erupted,
Yeah.
MJF's ego couldn't, he had too much pride. He couldn't just let Samoa Joe get away with the shove. The brawl breaks out. Samoa Joe snaps on a guillotine, and
we've never seen that. I've never thought about this, but we've never seen anything like that in AEW before.
No,
I don't think
it was a
that
very
cool.
unique angle.
Yeah, especially not on a pay-per-view. Not that I can recall anywhere. If it's happened, it hasn't happened very recently. It may have happened at like Daly's place or something.
Right.
that kind of blank spot I've got in my memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, really hot angle, really good stuff, of course. And then it was shortly after announced that we're going to hear live from MJF. We're going to get a live promo, and in one of the promotional posters, it had Samoa Joe all over it as well. So I was very fired up for waiting to see what the big man had to say to MJF. And MJF, he goes out there, and he's just leaning full babyface, as one of the super chats recently said. It was quite borderline corner. He was flying very close to the sun. But we was talking about just before we went live, and MJF, even though it was very corner, especially at the start, especially when he first started going back and forth with Joe, and he's they're making dick jokes and everything. It's like, yeah, it's corny, but MJF was so over in that building last night. But the crowd was just going with his little corny lines and shit. Yes. So it was just like, all right, man, you just let him have it, But yeah, man, MJF, he addresses the crowd, babyface promo, etc., etc. Then, shortly interrupted by Samoa Joe, as it seems he's about to call him out. And Samoa Joe, he asks him basically, has he got a problem? The two go back and forth. They get there. They kind of have like a roast battle. MJF loves to do those with his live promos. He kind of just goes back and forth, trading shots. Like I said, some of MJF's shots were a little corny. And Samoa Joe was just trying to put the kid in his place, And, like I said, the first half of the kind of promo roast battle, that part of it was, neither hit or miss for me. But when MJF really started to get fired up, and really tapped in, like I said, got really fired up and just got really passionate promo, basically telling Samoa Joe who the fuck he is, sort of thing. And I think that kind of kicked the segment into another level. And Samoa Joe, of course, there was even a point where MJF was so over, but the crowd was trying to give Samoa Joe what chance. But he's just too good for that shit. He was just like, that ain't happening to me, brother, And it never had even a chance to catch on. But yeah, man, then they got into a brawl, etc., after. But just promo-wise, AO, what did you think of Samoa Joe, the big man, confronting the world champion MJF with a bad neck?
It don't matter who you put Samoa Joe in that ring with, he's going to make him look like a fucking amateur on the mic, bro. He's godly on the fucking stick, man. MJF, like, we talked about it before he got on air, and then, like, the super chat said, like, MJF was kind of being a little corny. Like, the dick jokes, they're not really for me. As a new MJF fan, I'm giving him some rope, though. I'm giving him some rope. As an MJF fan for like a month now, I believe it is. I'm willing to see where this goes. I didn't hate his half of the segment by any means. I just don't think he rose to the occasion of having a promo battle with Samoa Joe. And like when you think of like MJF getting a promo battle, like the CM Punk promo battle delivery, right? And then like the other people or whatever. But I don't think this is gonna be something we're gonna be talking about like 2 or 3 months from now. And it should be, bro. It's fucking it's MJF and Samoa Joe in the ring on the stage. I liked the segment a lot. I liked the callbacks. I liked that AEW wasn't scared to lean into the whole NXT security guard thing. Because for the longest time, for years and years, before AEW was even a thing, and even when AEW was a thing, MJF's gimmick was, that's not fucking me in that video. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. And people really believed him. Like, people were like, bro, it's not MJF. He said it himself, and they weren't memeing, bro. Like, they really believed that wasn't him. But the story doesn't work without calling that back. Like, it'd just be a huge elephant in the room, in my opinion. So I like that they did. Yeah, I like the segment overall.
Yeah, like the promo back and forth. Like I said, it started a little corny, but it did develop into something very good, didn't it, Charlie?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, the first 3 or 4 minutes wasn't really for me. I was just like, oh shit, is he losing me already? Like, we've gone full circle on this. Because I was very open on how much I hated MJF's promos 6 months ago. So,
Right.
But no, they picked it up. Well, when Joe came out, that's where, and after they got through the few little cheesy insults or whatever, they really picked it up. I enjoyed this segment a lot. I think they have really great chemistry, and I really do like the fact that they lean into MJF's history in these feuds. He always has something with these big feuds he can cherry pick from. But no, I really enjoyed it. I'm very much looking forward to this and seeing where it goes.
He does like those little old details, doesn't he? Of course, there was a lot of them with CM Punk, and there's this one with Samoa Joe, and I'm sure there's been plenty of other examples of it as well. But he's done
the Adam Cole one as well. So.
Yeah, of course, and Adam Cole, all kinds of things. So, yeah, MJF likes to, do little callbacks for the nerds that may or may not know. He mentioned William Regal. Said he sent him packing back to NXT where he belongs, and if Joe ain't careful, he'll.
Got that Stanford.
He's not even dealing with NXT.
I know, right? He's the gorilla of fucking Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, man, he's one of Triple H's right hand men. Much like CM Punk accused him of, but he's bringing up shots at Regal. Said he's going to send Joe back to NXT as well, and like I said, it did develop into something a lot more fired up and heated kind of thing. MJF gets really fired up, even to the point where he slaps the big man. The crowd gasps.
Oh
People couldn't believe the audacity.
Yeah.
Maxwell thought he could smack Samoa Joe in the face, brother. That's take some balls, but he is the world champion. And Samoa Joe, he kind of played Max here. Well, he definitely played Max here, and he was like, I see you trying to trigger me, but that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work on me. I'm gonna enter that tournament, and I'm gonna earn my shot at you, etc., etc. And then I'm gonna take the belt off you. But for now, have a nice day, or whatever it is that he said.
Yeah.
Going to let MJF walk out the ring. MJF is a little bit hesitant, but it seems like Samoa Joe is actually going to let him walk, but of course he doesn't. He kicks the rope. MJF falls into the ring, and the two get at it, man. And by the end of it, security, Adam Cole even comes down, but by the end of it, Samoa Joe, he hits a Uranagi in the corner. He goes for a muscle buster before Adam Cole makes a save, and MJF's neck is just, it's falling apart. It's crumbling. MJF was almost, bro, he was selling it almost crying. He's like, I can't feel my arm. Oh my God. I'm scared. It's he was really selling it like that, really panicked, scared selling, But yeah, man. So, MJF, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole's buddies, the necks are toast, brother.
Yeah, well.
Peach tweeted something very wild.
What you say?
Oh my God, Peach is
That was crazy, Peach.
But yeah, if you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, I'm glad you didn't.
Shout out, Peach.
But yeah, shout out, Peach. But yeah, man, MJF, Roddy, both having their necks destroyed by fucking Samoa Joe's ruthless antics.
Mm-hmm. Cole made the save for one of them. Didn't make the save for the other ones. So. Nice little story there with that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, for the tournament, it's interesting now because Roderick Strong is, of course, a lot of people had him nailed on. Of course, Roddy's going to, he's going to go on and win this and it will make sense of the story, etc., etc. and then now you got Samoa Joe, who's already done like 2 angles, segments, brawls with MJF. So it's like you'd think he's nailed on to be one of his next contenders. So it'll be interesting to see how the tournament plays out in that sense.
I like that the tournament doesn't have a clear winner, because sometimes with these tournaments, it's just like, okay, we know who they're trying to set up here. But like, it really could go either way with Joe or Roddy, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. It's like I said, Samoa Joe, MJF. You got any guesses of anyone want to make a guess on who actually gets the win in that tournament?
You know what I realized? You know what I realized?
What?
The story is extremely obvious in our faces. We're getting Joe, MJF, and Roddy Adam Cole. Like Roddy was never really gonna fight MJF, bro. This was all a vehicle to get to the Cole singles match.
That's a good point.
Well, why don't you think we'll end up with Roddy versus MJF?
Because we might get Roddy versus MJF eventually, but I think that Joe happens first.
That's not the end game.
First. Yeah, I don't think that's the end game. I think see, like if Grand Slam is in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. They're really like nailing home this dissension between Roddy and Cole. Joe is not doing anything but talking about MJF. What is Joe do? Joe's one of the biggest names in the company. What does he do at Grand Slam? If not fight MJF, he's gonna fight the Kingdom 2v1. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think like, because like even the whole Roddy wants to get the world championship match, right? It was never really about MJF or the championship to begin with. It was just like, Adam, why don't you love me anymore? It's like that type of shit. So like, they're gonna fight it out.
They're gonna duke it out for the love of Adam Cole, you know. Roddy thinks he's on.
There's also this as well. Like, this is also a factor in why I think that like they need to sell a lot of tickets. And why I think MJF versus Roddy would be a much better match. You know, Samoa Joe.
I don't know, man, bro. Listen, Samoa Joe when he gets Samoa Joe when he gets the big spot.
Yeah, they're
big match Joe.
Like both of them, you know? MJF and Joe, like they know what they need to do. Like they know like what they need to do to put together a match. Yeah, but it's fucking Roderick Strong, bro. So.
But if you don't do Roddy at Grand Slam, like if they do go to the Roddy MJF match, where do you do that? Do you just do it on a Dynamite, or do you save it for like Full Gear at this point? Because I wouldn't really put that on a pay-per-view.
I'd assume Full Gear.
You got Wrestle Dream and Grand Slam. Full Gear, of course, is in November, so that's still quite a minute. That's kind of a while away, considering what's coming up in between. Then, you know.
True.
So I think those are the two. That will be the 2 dates. You know.
Yeah.
There's a rumor going around. There's a rumor Bucks FTR4 is main eventing Wrestle Dream. So if you want to get MJF a title match, but it just doesn't main event, you know, Roddy Strong. It's a good choice to throw on there.
Yeah, and I could see that working, 100%. You can even main event a TV. Probably, you know, like you brought up on the screen earlier. They do kind of. I could do with selling some Grand Slam tickets, and as much as I love and adore Roddy's wrestling, I don't think he's the man you put on the poster when you're trying to move a few thousand tickets, you know.
Right.
Do you think they do the first? I know we haven't talked about the segment yet, but do you think they do the first Swerve vs Hangman on Grand Slam?
Possibly.
Was it like too soon? But if they need to move
tickets, the women's title match is Grand Slam, isn't it? Or was that Wrestle Dream?
The women's titles match is Grand Slam.
Okay, so that's the 2 world titles on the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50, to be honest. 50-50.
Because I think they could. But I don't know what, because they normally do like a big singles match that isn't title related on Grand Slam. But I don't know what else you would do. Interesting.
What the fuck is Kenny Omega doing on Grand Slam, bro?
What's he doing on Wrestle Dream, bro? If you're getting New Japan stars over as Tony,
I'm assuming he's gonna play someone from New Japan.
Just do the Okada match, bro. Sell some fucking tickets.
Do a fucking Okada match, man.
Can you imagine?
Just
I'd be
cool,
shocked
man.
if New Japan go for that and let that happen in AEW
they'll probably say
pay-per-view.
no.
Oh, they've already done it 3 times, you know.
Yeah, it's like how many more do y'all want it? How many more times do y'all want it?
Yeah.
4 times, really? Fucking
Yeah.
not Okada. Give me Shingo, bro. I'm always down to see Shingo.
Oh,
Top of the
yes.
star.
Fucking love Shingo.
Always down to see Shingo.
Someone said that they need to do Eddie versus Claudio for the Ring of Honor title on Grand Slam. I mean,
I'm
yeah.
so like mixed on this Eddie Claudio thing, bro, because like I don't know if I want his first championship in AEW to be the big one. But if they're not gonna do it, then fuck it. Put the ROH belt on.
Yeah. I thought Eddie was going to be winning the title from MJF at Grand Slam like 3 months ago, but that didn't happen, so...
Yeah, the Adam Cole stuff kind of caught a different life, so he
Right.
put everything in a different perspective, you know? Because according to the rumours, you know, look, I don't think even they were expecting to kind of do this for as long as they were doing it when they first started the feud, you know?
When they started this, they were definitely
this probably going until Full Gear, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
At the very least, I'd say. So,
is this another singles match between them? You know, thing?
Yeah, they got to do at least. I think they might even do 2. I don't know, man.
Does Cole win one of those?
No.
If one of them's non-title, then maybe. But he's not winning the belt for them.
Yeah, I don't see it. So. And now, my only worry really is if like MJF goes back heel after all this, you know.
I would be so upset because I really like this character.
He'd have to really evolve as a heel character.
Yeah.
If he's going
he
back
can't just go back
heel.
and do the shit he was doing before.
No, he needs to lean into like the darker side of it that he showed like glimpses of in like the punks, like in the punk feud and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, it would be more ideal for my fandom if he came out the end of this as like the baby face of AEW, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of, I think that's like his ceiling, you know, like being the face of the company, you know, like people love to go along with his shtick, but like, I think even now you'd run the risk of kind of the problem that they were having before with MJF, where like he's going out there and he's doing his heel shtick, and like the crowd's just like cheering it, and they're not really like.
Yeah, bro, I hated that shit.
So, yeah,
the babyface block he's gonna get when.
I like his approach to heel work though, because it's like he's like obviously being the good guy now, but he's also still like being a dickhead about it too. Like he's not a good person, but he's the guy. Like he's clearly the person you're supposed to cheer for in this situation, even though he's still an asshole. Like I like that he's not fucking like just a white meat baby face. Like
when they announce like him re-signing with AEW, that's gonna get such a massive pop in the arena. Wherever they announce it.
That shit's gonna be kayfabe as hell, bro.
Oh yeah.
He claims his contract expires January 1st, 2024. Brother, I don't know anybody's contract in any industry that expires on New Year's Day, my nigga. You are lying, bro. You are lying.
Oh man. Yeah, most would assume that he's already put pen to paper, you know.
That's what I'm going with.
It would be unbelievable if that wasn't the case. You know, you get like a PW Insider report where it's like, yeah, MJF is actually a free agent now. You know, and it's like, what?
That'd be nuts.
Honestly, after the Cody situation, I'm not surprised by anything.
Yeah, the Cody situation was fucking wild.
The
way that actually played out, like the actual leaving of AEW, like that couple of months was like, not even a couple of months, like that month was like wild. From the promos to the reports coming out and people thinking it was a work, etc., etc. And even the people that didn't think it was a work was just like, oh yeah, it's just a minor thing, you know, it's just people get busy, Cody's just going to go sign it.
Right.
And next thing you know, we get the statement from Cody Rhodes and it's like, some people are like, it's a work still. And then, you know, the WWE rumors start to pick up and get stronger and stronger. And by this point, you know, Vince and Bruce have already flew to the Rhodes house, you know, put in the work. So who knows? But Most would assume MJF has already put pen to paper at this point. So, yeah, man. MJF, hope his neck gets better. You know, he's got a big title match in 2 weeks. Yeah, next week, not next week, the week after. So,
yes,
yeah. God bless. God bless. Can we get into a few more super chats before we carry on with the Dynamite stuff? Yuzura Hart, $5. Appreciate you, as always. Just want to thank Ayo for making the call to Big Tone and getting that fog hooligan bite monster A Steel fired. You did say you was going to put in a call, Ayo. I remember that.
I don't like politicking. I don't like using up all my backstage influence. I don't like throwing my weight around. I don't like showing off my stroke in AEW. But sometimes I gotta put my fucking foot down, Monty. I'm Pierce released a statement that in 24 hours that we're done. We're with WWE now, and within 24 hours, Punk was gone. We went live on air on I'm not sure where we went live, but I told you guys job wasn't finished. I was gonna call Big Mega. And I was going to say, get Ace out of here next. And now y'all see what the fuck going on. Y'all see what the fuck going on. Slowly but surely, every terrorist is leaving All Elite Wrestling. That's 2 down, baby. Dex Owens, you're next.
Oh, no, you can't. Listen. You could take Punk, you know. Again, it's divisive. He's divisive and he's gonna step on grenades. You know, you can take Punk and Ace Steel. You know, he's part of the furniture. I guess you can take him as well, but you can't. Dax the Axe brother. You can't. You know, you can't take FTR away from me as well. That's brutal.
Scott Dawson, welcome to Monday Night Raw.
No.
Monday Night Raw.
Oh man. You know, I could talk myself into getting very behind the WWE when it could get nasty, to be honest. So,
so nasty.
Look, the tag division's back.
Hey, man.
It's time to make that move.
Sapito, $4.99. Appreciate it. Does Samoa Joe pre-write his promos? His hit rate for comebacks to what MJF was saying was perfect. And if this all came from on the spot, then holy.
Samoa Joe's a very witty person.
Yeah,
whether
very.
he voice them or not, I don't know, but
MJF
is known to go out there and say whatever the fuck he wants, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'd imagine Samoa Joe's retorts were just off the dome. You know, like you said, he's a witty guy, and just the way that he played out, he didn't seem like there were, you know, it wasn't no scripted promo or whatever. No. Probably as every wrestler who cuts a promo, probably have at least a rough idea of what they're going to say, you know, but. I can't imagine it goes much further than that. Rob, so a paragraph of on Purist part of the WrestlePurists family. Appreciate you with the $1.99. It's getting the NXT chant going. NXT. You know the rest.
Rob, we dropped this gimmick, brother. We dropped this gimmick. Fed bad again.
Oh my god, it didn't even last like 48 hours.
I've been saying this, bro. For Rob, it wasn't a gimmick. He was allowed to be himself again.
It was never. This was the crack in the door that Rob needed to finally be himself again.
I respect it in a way, you know. The only thing I don't respect about it is it took so long for him to really be himself, you know. Really tap into the magic that was the WrestlePurists Podcast episode 43 or whatever episode it was. That's one. 6-star $4.99. We love 6-star. Appreciate it. Monty, Ayo, and Chuck for the AEW World Trios or Artists of Stardom Championship. IMO. I agree. We need all we need is a shot. You know, we build up to the Charlie hot tag. You know.
That Charlie hot tag is gonna go crazy.
Nick Jackson in his prime.
Yo, man, those Monty Heat segments, bro. They're gonna be art. I'm telling you, they're gonna be art.
We could create some magic out there.
Yeah,
6 stars our manager. You know,
absolutely.
Cooking. Will Chisholm, appreciate you, brother, as always. $5. I got to ask what y'all think Kenny's next program is. Hope Kenny versus Jay White in a singles match. You know what? hold your thoughts, AO and Charlie, because this is actually like part of a whole subject I want to get into. Well, we're getting into it, brother, 100%. Anurag, 100 rupees, appreciate you. Danielson won't main event Wrestle Dream, ? And would he wrestle Grand Slam given he's mostly Collision exclusive? That's a pretty good question about Grand Slam. Because we've already mentioned like a couple of matches that could potentially be on the card. And if you've already, say for example, you've already got the 2 world title matches, you've got Swerve versus Hangman, you know. Well, there's also the kind of the factor that we've mentioned a few times, they need to move some tickets. So if you get like a big Bryan Danielson match on there as well,
on this card, bro.
get Kenny on there,
bro. Like you gotta get Danielson, you gotta get Kenny. This is no time to be conservative, bro. Like we gotta to not embarrass ourselves. We gotta get like 11K in there at least, 11, 12.
I don't know about it's in 2 weeks and it's still under 6, bro. Like,
I know it's crazy, bro.
AEW is not the kind of company that gets
they just announce somebody and then fucking 4K tickets go flying. But still, bro, it's New York City. You get Danielson on the card. You get Omega on the card. I say
just get them on the card together. Just run the match again.
Yeah, run a fucking match. Fucking run a
Who
stack.
cares about
bro, you gotta get people on this fucking card, bro.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't get the 11K, like you gotta swing for the fences and see you try.
Yeah.
It's just punting it. Like if you punt this Grand Slam, then just stop the event. Like just stop.
Yeah.
Close the promotion now.
Close the promotion.
I want to go that far. It's like, yo, maybe let's take a break from Arthur Ashe for a little bit. Get back and get out of here.
Yeah, I think Danielson won't main event Wrestle Dream. I don't know how that Wrestle Dream card is gonna look, bro.
Until we know like involvement from the New Japan talent as well, we have no idea what the card's gonna look like.
I'm curious what's next for Danielson because he's working babyface now, and he's on Collision. Hey man, that Jay White, Bryan Danielson program might feed families.
Oh my god, I would love that.
There's so much for Jay White still to do in this company. It's crazy, isn't it?
So much, bro.
So much.
Crazy.
I want that. Jay White Hangman feud as well.
So badly. They have so much history.
We need it.
We need to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like for them to both be repositioned where they need to be before they get to that feud. Like people were asking for it during the summer. I'm like, no, you got to heat Hangman back up and keep presenting Jay White as that guy. So like it's really like nailed into AEW fans' heads.
Yeah.
Maybe weren't familiar with his New Japan run, and then run the feud. That could be a really big money feud in the future.
Yes, we'll see how I guess. We'll see where Danielson ends up in how he plays into all these plans. Austin King called $2, appreciate you. Court and compromise to a permanent end. Ace steal.
Literally worse than Osama bin Laden, many people are saying.
No, they're not.
People are saying it, Monty. People are saying it.
Nancy Reagan. $2. Can a girl get one of those neck strong shirts? I don't know, maybe on AEW shop.
For my 2 British pals up here that maybe not know Nancy Reagan lore, she's obviously the wife of Ronald Reagan, former first lady. It came out in the past that she was known for fellatio, and that was really her thing. And they're saying that
really
they were saying that Nancy Reagan was really neck strong. You feel me?
Oh my god!
So that's the joke for the non-American.
That's the law beyond the WrestlePurists live chat.
We love it. I love a good super chat with law.
$6.199. That Charlie hot tag will feed families. Listen, told you, Nick Jackson in his prime, baby. Coming for all the gold. Man's fan 84 $1.99. Appreciate you. First Black World Champ, Swerve or Ricky?
Swerve.
I would choose Swerve personally.
I'm sorry, bro. Ricky Starks being world champion does not sound like a promotion that I want to watch.
I did really like his promos
though.
Athena.
Real.
I mean, if we're gonna say
real.
it's already Nyla Rose, but
yeah.
What is Nyla Rose's ethnicity? Is she half black? Is she full black?
She's half black, half native. American, or like 3/4 black,
Okay.
1/4 Native American, but she's black.
Okay. Well, it's Nola, you know. Swerve or Ricky, I don't know, man. Still don't know on either of them as not being the guy, you know.
Look, man, Ricky Starks.
They're both going in the right direction.
Cool. Hitting the music will be cool. Walking out will be cool. Hitting the pose will be cool. You gotta wrestle, brother. You know,
you're only as good as your last match, and these last matches.
You're not gonna work Brian. You're not gonna work Bryan Danielson every week, my guy. You just
Bryan Danielson. I tell you that Bryan Danielson was carried in that match, brother.
Fucking God. Bryan Danielson over. And y'all remember that article that came out? Cody Rhodes taught me how fun lying can be. I love to lie.
Yeah, Phantom F2W, appreciate you. £2. Since Punk got fired, Emmy's been on TV weekly.
Look, I don't know who started this Punk hates Joshi things, but thank you so much. I'm on that shit too. Thank you so much.
Donald 199, he says.
John, that's my new call.
Stop it. I know Phil, he's a good guy, just misunderstood. Hey man. I agree.
Oh my God.
Alright. Roddy Strong, let's talk about Roddy Strong. We've touched on him a few times, you know. He had this video package, you know, he's sat down, he's got the neck brace on, he's got the kingdom either side of him, you know. He's being asked about his upbringing and his life, everything, you know, and he's telling this, you know, it's almost touching and it's weird. It's a weird visual because he's so, like, he looks so ridiculous talking about his family and
he had the glasses that he doesn't need, he had the neck brace on he doesn't need. And he's like, some of this touching ass story, bro. Like, it reeled me in. Like, I forgot that he was you playing a whiny, pathetic, annoying ass nigga. And then he's just like, and that's why I don't call. But oh my God, bro.
Yeah, the switch up was crazy. What a beast. He's killing it with his character, isn't he?
Yeah.
What a beast. But yeah, everyone's enjoying this stuff. Roderick Strong, Roderick Strong of all people is now doing like beast like promo segments and shit, you know, like Roderick Strong. Who would have thought we'd see the day, you know? And I'm one of the biggest Roderick Strong believers, but I didn't think it would be him getting over on character work.
Bro,
you know?
even his biggest fans never thought that he would like this would be going on, bro. Like I fucking love Roderick. Jumping for joy when he came to AEW. Because I wanted to see him wrestle, but now I want to hear him scream at him, bro. Like, pause. But, bro, he's coming out. End of Heartache's not even playing before. He's coming out like he's
Oh my God.
Excuse me, shit.
The way he made his entrance and they just rolled into the match after was so fucking funny because he still did his pose in the ring. There was no music playing.
It doesn't need it, you know. But yeah, what a piece. Obviously, at the end of the MJF Samoa Joe segment we were talking about earlier, he comes out and he does the whole whiny Adam shit again. And, you know, he points out, you never came out to save me when my neck was in danger, you know what I mean, etc., etc. Adam Cole is just, throughout all of this, he just can't believe what Roddy has become, you know, this whiny, this just pathetic man. But he wasn't a pathetic man in his first match in the AEW Grand Slam World Title Eliminator Tournament where he took on Trent Beretta. And they had a very good match. And Roderick Strong is the messiah of the backbreaker for a reason. That apron spot was crazy, bro.
Ridiculous.
Fucking nuts.
Why is that allowed on TV,
going
bro?
after each other's necks. Because Roddy's got the kayfabe neck thing going on. Trent was out for a year with a real broken neck, and they were just like they were trying to kill each other out there. Bro, I love that, man.
Yeah, man. I liked how they told that story of the bad. Everyone's got bad necks in AEW, man. You know, a lot of miles, you know.
Bro, you know what I really fucking popped for, bro? Because Roddy's done 2 indie shows ever since he took that Emerald Flojan to the chair. And he was wrestling with the neck brace, bro. Like, he kept the neck brace on. But for AEW, because it's like really like leaning into the heel shit, he takes the neck brace off. He's obviously completely fine. Wrestles a great match with Trent. And then afterwards, Matt Taven puts the neck brace back on him. Like he's like grounding him, bro.
Like it's a fucking belt. He just put it back on.
Bro.
So fucking good. I love that he's leaning fully into this character work. Like
so good.
even
He's
with his
killing it,
matches,
yeah.
it's so good.
He's a beast, man. Oh, shout out Roddy, you know. He's doing good business.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just happy to see. I'm happy to see him wrestle. Look, for as fun as his character's been,
Right.
you know, he's all the fans of Roderick Strong know that he is a next level killer in the ring, you know, and that's kind of what has been the selling point of Roderick Strong for pretty much his whole career up until the past month, you know. And yeah, even though he was doing all this great character work and it was popping me and I was having a fun time with it and I was laughing at it, etc., like, you know, I want to see Roderick Strong wrestle. Yeah. Especially in AEW, the wrestling company, you know, like I want to see Roddy wrestle. I didn't get to see quite enough of it in WWE, so definitely happy to see him wrestle last night. And Trent's good, bro. Trent's very good. Especially in like these higher end TV matches, you know.
Yeah, he always does.
Kind of his specialty, like a featured TV match. He's very good in these. And Roderick Strong, like I said, is one of the great in-ring guys of this era, to be honest. He's just, you see, even at the start of the match, it wasn't like anything electrifying or anything, but it was good shit still.
Right.
But like, you see when Roddy gets going and the gears start turning, bro, he just puts a pace on people and you either get drowned out there and you get the shit kicked out of you, or you got to swim with him. And Trent, like I said, he's very good and he swam out there with him. And they had a really good match, man. It was a really good match. It wasn't anything like crazy, but it was very good. Very, very good. I love watching Roddy wrestle. Yeah. More long way of saying that.
Yeah, the match was just really good. I really enjoyed it. It felt like the quality of Dynamite wrestling that we were used to for a while that's kind of been lacking. Exactly. Like over the summer, like on the week-to-week TV, that wrestling quality was like a little bit all over the place. But like this show, like in general, had a lot of really good wrestling, and this match was just another check in that box. So good shit.
Good shit. And another successful week for the one and only Roderick Strong, you know, in and outside of the ring this week as well. Big bonus. Talking of good wrestling matches, this wasn't long, and I can understand if a lot of people would have wanted this to be a lot longer, you know. Emi Sakura's first singles match on Dynamite in way too long. I think it might have even been years at this point, you know. Yeah. And, you know, she got a shot at the TBS title versus Chris Statlander, and I went like, you know, 5 minutes or something. But this was a good 5 minutes, you know, a good sprint. And it, you know, by the end of it, I wasn't, you know, like, it would have, like I said, it would have been nice if they went a little bit longer or anything like that. But like, they didn't. They did what they needed to do out there, you know.
You can't be mad at a 5-minute TV match when it starts at like gear 2. Like they went out there and like almost immediate fucking tiger driver, bro. Like, come on, bro. You wanted to see them like lock up and feel each other out for 3 minutes, and fucking Amy throws her around and Steph's like, oh my god, like fuck that, bro. Let's get to the wrestling. I get it with the women's wrestling enthusiasts. They want to see more. Yeah. But like that was really good. I really enjoyed that match.
Okay.
I don't I've said it with the collision reviews, bro. Like things aren't better just because they're longer. Like they're just longer.
Yeah, that's the important thing. It's like how enjoyable is it, and how you know exciting is it, etc. You know, like I'd rather have like a 5-minute sprint between these two than you know like a 10-12 minute match between two people I don't really need to be seeing out there for 12 minutes. You know, it's not for me. It's not even about time. Like I hate like the stopwatch stuff, and I've always like been big on women's wrestling, but it's just for me. It's more about like the focus and giving fans kind of what they want, giving fans the people they want to see. The fans want to see Emi Sakura more. You know, you've seen a lot of that online over the past few weeks, especially like with all the Wembley stuff, and you know she got a shot. She got a shot at Chris Statlander, and she absolutely delivered, even if it was 5 minutes. So she made the most of her opportunity. And this was just a good bit. This was a good bit of business, man. Even if it was short.
I didn't even realize it was a 5-minute match until I looked at Twitter, and they were like, "Oh, of course, women in the first hour, but it's only 5 minutes. They didn't even get a whole corner." So I was like, "All right, fair enough." But I really liked it. I had fun.
So. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. I'd like you said, I'd much rather see a shorter match that's like really well worked and like high action, like high pace, and they just go out there and kill it, then like them go for 12 minutes and there'd be 4 minutes of nothing because it's gone for a break and they're just doing a heat segment. Like, I'd much rather. I like the really high paced matches, but maybe it's because I have a short attention span.
No, I think it's kind of an art that gets lost because of the way that Twitter and stopwatch fans have become.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people. If any match is like 4, 5, 6 minutes, it's like, oh, it's a disgrace, and they don't care about women's wrestling, or they don't care about the undercard with the men, or however that 5, 6 minute match comes. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's kind of like a lost art because you can do a lot of shit in 5 minutes, bro.
These
5 minutes is a long time, like to wrestle.
Bro, Chuck, you ever been in a fight before? Like, imagine getting into an actual fight for 5 minutes, you'll die, bro. Like, you'll be passed out. But these stopwatch matches, they need to watch 97 Goldberg, man. It'd be 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes.
If that.
Yeah, exactly. If that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some of the most like electrifying wrestling TV ever. So, yeah. Yeah, there definitely is a time and a place, and it has to be the right talent. You know, like Stat and Emmy are definitely like good enough to make the most of a 5 minute title match. You know, so it has to be the right people in these situations to get the most out of it. You know, but like I said, you can do a lot with a short amount of time if you've got the right talent. What other good matches we have? Les Sex Gods versus Aussie Open. That was a good time. Yeah, when this really kicked into gear, I was really enjoying it, you know. Of course, Jericho, Sammy Guevara, there was tension between them two. I believe Jericho fucked up by doing he done like an accidental dive on Sammy or something like that. And, you know, Aussie Open, they couldn't get it quite done. They came close a lot of times. You know, it was a pretty good showing for them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Saw a few people saying that they should have won and stuff, but like at the end of the day, the point of the match was that they're trying to tell a story of Jericho and Sammy.
Exactly.
So unless it was like a dramatic fuck up by Jericho and not just like a dive, you know, sort of thing, then I guess that this was the way that match was always going to go. Really,
it's like Aussie Open recently beat the Hardys, and no matter how you perceive the Hardys in 2023, that's still a big fucking name tag team to get a win over. It's not like they're like going out and jobbing to like fucking no-namers. Like, it's Jericho.
About Aussie Open is so fucking bad, bro. Like, it's so bad.
I got a little bit heated on Twitter last night because it did really annoy me. Like, some of the takes. It's like,
bro, they didn't love working New Japan tours or even getting skipped over on some tours and then having to fly to the UK and work 85 indies. They were doing it because they were poor, bro, and New Japan refused to pay them. Like, New Japan did not give them contracts. They gave New Japan every opportunity to sign them. They didn't fucking want to, bro. It's like, you can't. And just because, even outside of that, just because AEW signs the talent doesn't mean they need to be fucking pushed right away. Doesn't mean they need to be AEW World Champion right away. Doesn't mean they need to be Tag Champions right away. Like, it's all right. Aussie Open will be AEW World Tag Team Champions one day.
Within the next year, like, let's be realistic.
Like,
they'll probably be
next year. Like, they'll probably take it off the Bucks, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I get what people say. It's like, oh, we want to see. I don't even think they've been booked badly, personally.
They haven't at all. They're
wrestling top stars all the time. Like, they're featured on TV pretty much every week in a prominent position. They were on fucking Wembley, and they've been signed to the company, 6 months? So,
you know how many day ones weren't anywhere close to getting on the Wembley card, show or not? Like,
they won the Ring of Honor championships within like fucking 2 weeks of Mark Davis being back. It wasn't even 2 weeks, I don't think. So.
It was literally his return.
Like the first match back.
Yeah, it's a fight because didn't they come back in a Rumble or something like that, in a Battle Royal or some shit?
No, I think the Ring of Honor match might have been literally their first match back.
Yeah, it was because it was like they were like a mystery team, right? Like,
it was literally just announced. Yeah, and everyone was just like, "Oh shit, they're back!" Like,
yeah, you can regardless of whether you think they've been like perfectly booked or anything. I think you can at least say that you can tell that Tony's like a fan. You know, you can tell that Tony sees.
They weren't
they weren't like sometimes TK just signs people just to sign people. He obviously has plans for Aussie Open.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, he signed them when Davis was injured, and they didn't have a clear timeline of when he would actually be able to come back. And Kyle was used when he was out, so they clearly value them as a tag team and as single wrestlers. So
Yeah, definitely. And
that's my
speaking of
stance on
valuable
that.
singles wrestlers, Hangman Adam Page has finally got a singles feud that it seems that everybody can get the teeth into and really get behind, you know. He had a live promo last night, and it was more like a what's next for Hangman kind of deal, you know. It's out there. He's being interviewed by Shivani, talking about the charity that he won the Battle Royal for to raise money for, the Chicago Public Education Fund, if I believe.
Yes.
And he put over how teachers are underpaid and stuff, and it was just like, it was just a nice babyface promo, you know, and he killed it out there, of course. But he's interrupted by Swerve Strickland. He just comes out there and just kicks the shit out of him verbally, should I say? He just tore him down piece by piece, every little insecurity that Hangman could possibly have. I think the only thing he didn't call him was a raving alcoholic or something.
Hey, just that was the only thing. He talked about. He said he didn't get any new gear in over a year. He doesn't do singles promos. He doesn't do singles matches. He called him the elite weed carrier, which was a big thing in the early AEW and New Japan. Like, that promo was so fucking good, bro.
Called him lazy.
He called him a nepo baby, pretty much. Called him lazy. Yeah, called him fat.
It was good shit.
Shit was crazy, bro.
It was very much like, for the Hangman fans, it was very much like, fight back. You know?
It was so
but I know where this is going. Like, I know where this is going because, like, Hangman's very much still like, he's pretty much the I'm not a killer, but don't push me type of character. Where it's like, I'm gonna be cool, calm, collected, mellow Hangman until you finally make me snap. And I'm gonna fucking stab you. So that's the place that Swerve's gonna make him go and shit. So
yeah, because when Hangman went to walk away, he went after his family.
Right.
So.
Yeah, this was very good.
I love
shit.
this.
Very good shit. Two big single stars that the AEW audience absolutely believes in as big stars. Of course, Hangman, you know, he's more of an established big star in AEW. He's a former world champion, etc. But Swerve, especially on his latest heel run with the Mogul Embassy, has been, you know, he's been killing it. He's been heavily featured as he should be, and he's been running with the ball when given the ball, and he absolutely did so in his segment.
That was by far the biggest quarter-to-quarter jump in the key demo. I don't know about viewership, but it was like they rose like 10% in the demo. Yeah. Nothing else was like close to that.
It works, man. People have been calling for a Hangman feud for a minute with someone like with a single star big feud that he can really, you know, his fans can get the teeth into, like I said. And now,
and someone's got to lose, bro. Someone's got to lose. I don't want to see y'all crying when someone does lose. All right.
I think it should be Hangman that should lose.
I think Hangman should lose as well.
That's the story they're telling right now. Swerve going over would be huge for him. And Hangman losing is just another step in his little story that they're doing.
They love doing shit like that, bro. So they just they just go through phases where they all become like big fucking losers.
It's just like, damn, what the fuck happened to me? I used to be that nigga, bro. I can't be the baby now. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is be interesting to see how this plays out. How many matches they do, kind of I guess kind of the story that they're telling. I guess the story that they're telling is, you know, Swerve thinks Hangman Adam Page has got complacent in his spot as one of the top AEW guys. He's got lazy, etc., and he kind of, you know, we verbally undressed him. And yeah, he wants the spot. He wants that spot, and
it's good storytelling in wrestling. More wrestlers should do shit like that. Like, yes,
I always go back to the wrestling. Is fucking simple most of the time. Like, this isn't a complex story. Hangman Adam Page, you know, I don't know how he's going to take it, but you don't have to, you know, do some power of friendship, post-depression story. Right. You know, like, you can just, one competitor wants the other competitor's spot. It's that easy, you know.
Also, I really like how they're like, we're the elite, but we're all going to go and do our own thing. Like, Kenny's going to come back. He's going to do his thing. The Bucks are in the tag division. Hangman's in the top end feud. I'm happy. We can keep it like this for a while. We don't got it. We don't have to Avengers Assemble for at least until 2024.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys do the things.
there's so much stuff that there's still. It's actually quite amazing when you look at it and you look at the roster and you look at who the Elite have worked with in terms of like big programs.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people kind of criticize the Elite in the sense of that they do work a lot of the same people sometimes. They'll go like full circle with people and stuff, and that's kind of the way they like to tell the stories as well. They'll tell a bit and then they'll come back to it, and then they'll do a call back to something from 2 years ago. And you know what I mean? Like, so they do that a lot.
But and that is the thing that happens when people like try to make it seem like it's malicious, but I think that's just the way they like to tell stories. Yeah. They're about to have their 4th match with FTR, and obviously they're not the best of friends, especially after Brawl Out, especially after all the twerking Dax was doing on Twitter. Like this is just how they want to tell stories, bro. Like I think they're gonna move on to different people now. I wouldn't mind to see Kenny continue this Takesha feud though. I just don't see why it would be over right now. Honestly.
Unless they want to because of the way that the build was received this time around, unless they want to let it breathe for a little bit and then circle back to it rather than trying to retcon straight away. So I wouldn't mind if they did that, if they swerved it a little bit and then picked it back up in the new year.
Yeah, man, there's always going to be a few different directions you can go with the Elite because, like I said, that's kind of the way they tell their stories, Absolutely. But like I was getting to, with the way they do tell their stories, it's like it leaves so many people that they're still yet to work with, So, we'll there's definitely a lot of things on the table for them to do. What else have we got on Dynamite? Nick Wayne bumping into Christian.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we had Mox versus AR Fox at the start of the show. But before this, at the very, very opening of the show, Orange Cassidy comes out. And he kind of, he gets his flowers and his appreciation from the fans again. He cuts a short but sweet promo. And, and the show.
I'm surprised by this. I assumed we were going to see him for a couple months, bro. Like, he's beat up in storyline. He's beat up in real life. Like, he deserves a break, but he wants to be around. I commend him for it.
Till the wheels fall off. Right. Seems like that sort of seems like he's got that kind of mindset, which is great for the fans, but later in life he may regret it. We'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping the best for him. Hope he holds up, Shout out Orange Cassidy. He's had a great He's had a great year, So shout out Orange. Max, of course, the new AEW International Champion after defeating Orange Cassidy at All Out in a great main event. He has the opener, defending the title against AR Fox. And they have a nice opener, man. I
enjoyed it a lot.
After the match, of course, Darby comes down to make the save for AR Fox when he's getting beat down. Of course, he was watching the match with Nick Wayne backstage. Nick Wayne doesn't come out with Darby because, of course, he's still conflicted, after everything that went down. More than fair. And as Nick Wayne is left on his own backstage, he bumps into Christian Cage. He's so comedic, his timing and everything. The way that he leaves and he's like, "Tell your mama said hi,"
Yeah.
Christian's always been known as hilarious, but this is probably the funniest shit he's done in his entire career.
So he's taken this character and run with it, and it's so fucking good. I'm glad that they really leaned into this dead dad bit. Because they had done it 2 storylines in a row. They was
they know the fucking memes. They obviously know the memes. They're really leaning into it. Christian at the presser, first thing he said is, "How's everybody's fathers doing today?" I'll pop to you, bro. It's fucking hilarious. I want to see Nick Wayne be Jungle Boy 2.0 and go on to Christian's wing. I want to see it.
It'd be cool.
It's better than being Darby's friend, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well.
They could do something with this, the Darby, Nick Wayne, Christian stuff at Wrestle Dream, because that's in Seattle.
Right.
And Nick's from
so they're obviously going to have a big program there.
So it'd be interesting to see if they did something on that show, and maybe we see a turn there from Nick or whatever.
I didn't realize how many top end guys are from the Pacific Northwest. Fucking Dragon. Swerve,
yeah, I know, it's crazy. Because Brian's from there as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could actually see him doing something with that storyline in Seattle. So of course, WrestlePurists. But like you said earlier on, Joe, it kind of depends on how heavy the New Japan involvement is.
Right.
Because I
Like,
know
you don't
it's
know
like
if this
saying
is like a. Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead.
I think Osprey's free that day as well. I don't think he's got a show the day before. I can't remember anyone else off the top of my head, but those are the two big names that I know are free for Wrestle Dreams.
We'll have to wait and see what Tony Khan and Gato, Rocky, see what they're cooking, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Christian was funny again. What else we got? Ricky Starks got a good promo, man. Of course, there was the video. There was the video package. You know, of course, kind of highlights of his match, the strap match with Bryan, as Ricky Starks is also cutting a promo during the video package, and you know, he told the people, you know, don't give me a piece of bread and tell me I've been fed.
I will say, when I was watching this, I was like, why the fuck is Ricky talking like he won, bro? Just because everybody's acknowledging you had a good match, like why are you? In kayfabe, you got your ass beat, brother. Like why are you twerking? And it was kind of a babyface promo too, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like, especially the way in the babyface sense, he was like, I didn't tap out. You know, like, no one can make me tap out, etc. You know, I passed out valiantly, etc., etc. So, you know, but of course, with kind of how we got to the match on Sunday, he's clearly a heel. You know, it's just that, you know, sometimes when you're telling a passionate promo, like this was very good promo, it can,
speak from the heart.
Yeah, it can. The lines can blur.
These
intentionally and unintentionally sometimes.
Monty, you are the biggest Ricky Starks fan here, probably in WrestlePurists. What do you want him to do next?
Continue being the top heel in Collision and feuding with. I mean, I guess you could say that he still has. He's done a strap match though. That's like
that's what I'm saying. That's a blow off match. Like, I think he needs to go separate ways from.
Yeah, especially like the way that he talked about not tapping out. Like you could, I guess you could talk. You could talk yourself into him still having like a gripe with Bryan. You know. So you could do that. I guess it's hard to say at the moment because like Collision is going to be like different. I think it's fair to say.
People are actually allowed to go there now. It's not going to be the same crew of 12 people. So,
but yeah, in a broad sense, I'd like him and Jay White like interchangeably being like the top heels on that show.
Yeah.
But I think Ricky's earned the spot. You know, he's been really good lately, and he's been given the ball to run with in Collision and given the space and the time to kind of, you know, spread his wings in the main event and stuff. And he's held up his end of the deal. So at least for the foreseeable future, keep him right up there. You know, especially if he's sticking around after getting choked out by Bryan Danielson in a strap match. You know.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Who the fuck are the top baby faces of Collision? So do we want Ricky Starks Miro? Do we do Ricky Miro?
Yeah, but it seems like they're doing the Hobbs match again with Miro. Because they've obviously attacked him after. Yeah. So I genuinely have no idea what's next for Ricky, which in some ways is exciting, but is also a little bit. I would like a little bit of directions. Like, I'm not the biggest Ricky fan, but I enjoy his promo work a lot. So I'd like to see him in a feud with someone that he can like have some really cool promo battles with, and they can put on a nice match. So.
A couple of notes on some of the things that we've already spoke about. Yeah, of course, there was Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho. They nearly came to blows. A lot of pushing and shoving going on there. Sammy Guevara talked at Rampage. If you've read the spoilers, you know what happens there. And also, you know, from the MJF and Samoa Joe thing, do you think we get an MJF in a neck brace?
Oh my god!
I think there's a really good chance we get MJF in a neck brace. Everyone just got beat up next, you know, because MJF was really selling at the end of that segment.
Yeah,
like he had the fucking Kinese tape on and shit under his shirt, like.
He would do the thing of getting like a fucking custom Burberry one as well, which would be really fucking funny. Just to like one up Roddy in every way. It's just like, oh, my neck's fucked, but my neck brace is great, and I have Adam Cole. So
I do appreciate the work MJF's doing to sell his neck though, bro. Because Adam Cole was going at it with the fucking with the Panama Sunrise and the fucking on the floor and the destroyer in ring and the fucking and the brainbuster on the steel steps. Like, no, you shouldn't be okay by next Dynamite or the week after that. So I appreciate what's going on. And then you continue with the damage to the neck with the fucking he had him in the guillotine. Joe did that all out, and then all this shit that happened on Dynamite. Like, let's keep this going. Give him the fucking Burberry neck brace. And you got Adam Cole like really like tending to the neck brace and be like, Cole, MJF, no, your neck. When he never did any of that shit for Roddy, bro. That could be real TV. That could be real television.
It'd be so funny.
Yeah, that's definitely MJF as well. You know, like his character work and shit. You know, he's just gonna be. He'll be ridiculous. What else did I like on this show? Got the latest rendition of Delusional Toni Storm. She threw another shoe at Renee.
She's so good.
Awesome.
It's legit funny, man.
She's clearly like going to Grand Slam, right? Like it's gonna be Toni Storm, right?
Yeah, she better be. You know, chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe.
Yes, so good.
Yeah,
she's really found her groove.
Bro, she's gotten this character over with like 2 minutes of promo work. Not even 2 minutes. Like, how long are these promo segments really? Like,
30, 40 seconds.
Like, she's gotten over as fuck doing it.
Throws a shoe at Renee, you know? Good shit, man. Wrestling, simple. Champion lost her belt and she's fucking gone crazy. She has, she's lost her damn mind, you know? Good shit.
I'm not big on wrestling couples like being presented together on TV, but Toni and Juice interacting in their current characters would be fucking comedy.
Got some fucking chemistry. Like, don't just throw them out there just like, oh, okay, you guys are fucking in real life. Let's put you on television. It doesn't always work that way. Like, I know Seth and Becky have spoken on this in the past. They're like, bro, we are terrible television together. We don't want to work TV together no more. Like, they've said it publicly. They're like, we told Vince, no, we're done. And I don't know. I wasn't watching, so I don't know how true that is. But I don't like either of their performances.
It was weird time, man.
It was weird. It was very weird.
It did create one moment when Baron Corbin hit the end of days.
I did see that. I did see that. That looked awesome, bro. Her sell on the end of days was awesome.
Beast. Well, that was them two on screen together when they were both like the top baby faces of the divisions. You know, in theory, that's a great idea. You know, they were naturally the biggest baby faces in the company, and it's like you get them on screen together, and they just don't have that like chemistry. You know, but that's just on screen chemistry. Sometimes it just doesn't work. You know.
Yeah. But the thought of Toni just hanging out with like Bullet Club Gold and like her and Juice just being insane together and her taking the piss out of the Guns, like I think it'd be really fucking funny.
Yeah, you definitely could get some fun interactions out of that because they're both just fucking delusional at the moment.
Yeah,
so, yeah, man. Shout out Toni Storm, she's good at it.
Absolutely.
Anything else? Of course, the main event. The main event was another Eliminator tournament for a shot at MJF's title at Grand Slam. Darby Allin versus Nick Wayne. I'll be honest, I did not think this was that good, to be honest. There was I think Nick Wayne, he's good if his matches are laid out a certain way and he can just kind of do big move, because he's definitely capable. Like he's a good athlete and all that sort of stuff. But the stuff in between, I kind of struggle with. You know, in terms of him being kind of ready for this spot. His main event at Dynamite, he's been put in some huge spots. And I get it from a storytelling perspective, of course I do. It's very easy to grasp. As I always say, wrestling simple, you know, and his story is very easy to grasp. So I get why. I do understand the why, but it's just I do think he does still have kind of a ways to go, although there is a lot of stuff that he can do is very impressive. I thought the chemistry that the two had was interesting. Darby grabbing the mic mid-match and being like, hit me harder, kid.
Bro, I told Monty,
what the fuck was that about, bro?
That's not Darby, bro. Like, I don't... And I enjoyed the match more than Monty did, but I also thought that it would be better than it was. But I still liked the match. But that microphone spot, bro, Darby, don't do that again. Don't do that shit.
Please.
Don't do that.
A polite request.
Right.
But yeah, like they went for the big spot on the outside, and even when I was putting over just saying how like Nick Wayne can do the big spots, like that splash to the outside did not look good at all.
Yeah, he landed like straight on his feet.
Yeah, man, just kind of like went on him. And fair enough, bro. Like, I'm not saying I could go to the top.
No, not at all. But I also
Yeah.
wouldn't lay out my match to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he needs to smack his fucking forehead on the ground trying to do an actual frog splash to the outside. But it's just like, that looks really bad, bro.
But yeah, man, Darby got the win in the end.
Yeah.
And the good thing for me out of this was we're getting Darby Allin versus Roderick Strong.
Oh, bro.
Oh, baby.
That match is going to be nuts.
Oh, baby. You know?
Not to sound like backup Hangman, but the things that Roderick Strong is going to do to Darby's back, bro. Put the kids to bed. They don't even be watching that. Put the kids to bed.
100%. Roddy's an animal, man.
Yeah.
He's an animal. He's just
putting him in a match with Roddy after Darby hurt his back at All In is a choice, but
definitely. Bro, Darby's just
gonna be
insane. He's going on interviews like, "Oh, my back's not 100%. You know, I've done the coffin drop on top of the coffin at Wembley, and it kind of messed up my back." And next thing you know, he's taking crazy bumps against Nick Wayne. Like, of course, he's going to go out there and he's not going to leave anything on the table because he loves Nick Wayne. Of course, he does, and it's a huge moment for Nick Wayne.
Right.
He's going to be the other end, and he's going to try and do things, you know. But him just like crashing and burning with that dive spot was fucking insane. Then he took the Rana to the floor as well, and it's just like he's just crazy.
That Rana to the floor was nasty.
It was brutal.
Like, obviously, dive was, but that Rana to the fucking.
Bro, that dive was like 2 inches from going.
Yeah,
like,
2 inches from no more Darby.
Oh my god, Darby's so scary to watch sometimes because it's insane.
Darby and Sasha Banks on those dives, bro.
I always forget how like Mercedes got like that little bit of like insanity, you know, when she gets going.
Like, she's going to die for this shit, bro. Like, that bump she took on Willow's pounce, bro. That shit just replays in my head. 24/7.
Nuts.
Good shit, man. But yeah, Dynamite, man, it was a really good show, wasn't it? It was a really good show. Just like it was just, you know, good like good excitement being carried throughout the show. You know, everything kind of felt purposeful. Nothing kind of felt like, oh, this is time to change the channel. Do you know? Yeah. There's no like
a quarter right here.
Mm-hmm. So everything, you know, everything kind of had its purpose.
I think it's the best post pay-per-view Dynamite they've ever done. Like,
could be.
I can't think of
bro.
one.
Go homes and post pay-per-view Dynamites have been historically very weak in AEW.
Yeah.
So you're probably right.
And even when
All Out and the post pay-per-view for All Out, they fucking nailed this like past 7 days.
Yeah, it's like even when AEW Dynamites like go homes and post pay-per-view shows don't hit, it's like even when they do hit, it's then sometimes they don't achieve what they're supposed to as a go home or a post pay-per-view show. Like the point of a post pay-per-view show is to set up new feuds or keep other things going so you can reignite interest in things. I think last night they've done that, of course, with the Samoa Joe Mjf angle that happened at the pay-per-view. We got a good follow-up on that, and we got some good stuff out of that. And of course, we got all the Roddy stuff, you know. And then, of course, Swerve versus Hangman, you know. We got that to look forward to, etc., etc. We continued who's going to be facing MJF next in the next tournament, and a few other things as well. So,
who do we think Takeshita's going to be facing next? Because that was the other like sports segment. It was like Don Callis is just like, we've got this new thing to reveal next week.
People really want Takeshita versus Ibushi at Wrestle Dream, and if we're gonna keep going with this Omega thing, it makes sense. And my team thinks Ibushi's finished. I'll never give up on the Golden Star. All right, I'll never give up on the Golden Star. He's him. He'll be fine, bro. He'll be fine. He's working out some kinks right now. You feel me? He'll be back.
I think I would like to see the match eventually, but I feel like a singles match for Ibushi right now isn't the best choice. I like him in like the dynamic.
It's Takeshita, bro. Like he's a literal prodigy. Him and Ibushi have wrestled a million times. If there's anyone that Ibushi should get a singles match against, other than like Kenny, it's Takeshita, bro. So.
I have my worries, though. You know.
Nah,
He's
he's
just
just being British.
you want it is as well. You want the thing with Ibushi is for me especially. It's like I just thought he was so good, you know, like so it's so striking to me. Like even aesthetically,
he was
from a
definitely,
physical point of view and stuff, like he was like almost like a video game character, you know.
Yeah.
He was on so much gas, bro. He was on so much fucking gas.
Now he's just, you know, he's
Hey, man.
in the few times we've managed to see him, it's rusty.
Look, I'm
Put it
gonna
bluntly.
hook him up. I'm gonna hook him up with Brian Cage. I'm gonna hook him up with CP Swerve. You feel me? He's gonna get his vitamins in. He's gonna keep rehabbing that elbow. We're gonna be alright, man.
Brian Cage and Kota Ibushi interacting. It's just so fucking funny.
Beast. Brian Cage, you know, he's I like Brian Cage. He's facing Hangman next week. You know,
I was gonna say that match next week. I'm so excited.
He attacked Hangman. You know, Swerve set him up. Swerve set up Hangman. Ended up getting attacked by Brian Cage. Sets up the match for next week. Brian Cage, Hangman, free. They have good matches. They have good matches.
Really
they
good
have good matches.
A double or nothing one, man. So fucking good.
Alright. AEW news. Thunder Rosa seemingly ready to return, according to Fightful Select. Seems like she could return at any time. I honestly wouldn't be super surprised if we saw her on Collision on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think we have good chances of that? It will be very interesting to see where she slots into the women's division with kind of where it's at the moment. And considering she was never beaten for the title, was she?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah, she.
We got the Real World's Women's Championship going now.
Imagine if she just carries Punk's belt around.
That would be kind of funny. I can't lie.
What a beast.
That
would be real
Collision
heat.
Girls are like all baby faces. You got you got Stat. Like so. I don't want to see Thunder Rosa versus Diamante, bro. I don't want to see that. Thunder Rosa versus Tina is something that we already got multiple times. No, Tina. Yeah.
I'll throw Athena into like any conversation. Like feasibly throw into.
What does Kenny Omega work at WrestleGym? Fucking Athena's not doing anything.
I'd watch her. I'd legit watch her, to be honest.
She does do intergender
I watch Athena against a lot of top guys.
She has a really good match against Swerve Strickland at Wrestling Revolver before she got signed to AEW. I fucking love that match. If you haven't seen it, go check that shit out.
When Athena throws taste your forearms on Kenny Omega.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Athena's a beast. Do something with her, please, Tony. You know, get her on main AEW shows and get her like, you know, she could be your top heel, brother. You know.
I just don't get like I thought this Ring of Honor stuff was just something for her to do while other programs came to a close and put a bow on. Like, why is she there, bro? Why is she behind a paywall that nobody's watching? Like, it makes no sense.
There's no excuse for it anymore when every other Ring of Honor champion is featured on Dynamite or Collision.
She's literally the only one paywall.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rosa could come back as a heel.
I think
it'd be
interesting. I think she definitely could. It's not like the fans are fucking. It's not like the fans are even like while she was out. Like the fans, oh my god, Thunder Rosa. She's on her way back. I can't wait. Oh my god, Thunder, bro. They weren't doing that, bro. And it's just like people had their agendas, like the anti-DMD agendas and all that, and all my bullying and all that shit. And it's like, oh, Rosa was right, but it wasn't really like fan support. You know what I mean? So she could definitely come back, be like, y'all don't give a fuck about me while I was gone. Fuck y'all, eat my ass, and then she get booed, and then she's a heel. I think it's very possible.
Yeah, we either do like remember when Sasha Banks turned on Natty and she revealed the different colored hair. She came back. She got like the babyface pop. Do you know what I mean? You know, because of course, like Thunder Rosa, the people will pop for Thunder Rosa when she first comes back. She's been gone out for so long, so you know you let her have that, and then you give her a moment with one of the other baby faces. As I mentioned, they've got so many of them.
I would choose Willow.
Out the fucking arena if she attacks Willow.
And then you do, You turn her
That'd be
there and then. But yeah, man. Definitely some options for Thunder Rosa. It would be interesting to see where she slots in, because if you get creative, there is absolutely a lot of cool stuff that she could be doing, and a lot of interesting people she could be mixing up with. Getting some more super chats. Keep them coming. Todd Bowley, my arch rival. $5. WWE shouldn't go near MJF now that he's over 25 years old. Chelsea FC law. And you rag 100 rupees, appreciate you. I think it's a mistake not running Dynamite Collision on the same day for Arthur Ashe. You could have given more big matches given the high ticket pricing. That's a pretty good point, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't think that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Will Chisholm, appreciate it as always, brother. $5. Do you think we get some women from Stardom at the Wrestle Dream pay-per-view?
Yes. TK named them by.
I just want to see a dream match. Okay. Just trying to figure out what the last bit of that super chat said. I just want to see a dream match.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get a dream match though, but I think we'll definitely get some Stardom talent.
Isn't like the last day of the 5-star on the 30th of September though? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they do have a show the day before.
There's like a few talent they can maybe spare, but it's not going to be anyone like huge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to send over. They're going to send over Momo.
One day we are going to get that though.
We're
going to get like the big Stardom matches out of it.
I don't think he would name it. Would say Stardom by name if there wasn't a plan. Like even if it's not a top end talent or even like middle tier.
Who said it? I think it might have been Jordan Patu. He was just like, Momo's free that day, and she's done like with New Japan and Strong and that.
They always send her to the States. And
yeah, Jamie Rush just said
Strong. Yeah, big match Momo.
I don't know.
She's a good talent. I like her a lot.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to just wait and see. But I think it's fair to be somewhat optimistic at this point, Will. Massman, 84199, appreciate it. Emi versus Stat was the best 5-minute match I've seen in a minute. It was really good, man. It was really good. Making the most of the time that they had, really good match. Zayd Nadi, 199, appreciate you as always. Toni Storm is a top 5 character. What a beast. Yeah, she's been killing it, man.
Yeah.
She's been killing it. Throwing shoes at Renee, Delusion. Wrestling fans like it. Wrestling fans love Delusion, don't they?
Absolutely.
Will Chisholm again, appreciate you. $5. I know he wouldn't leave because he's a Triple H guy, but who would y'all trade for AEW to get Gunther? Yeah, I couldn't see it.
For it to be an even trade?
Yeah, of course.
Fuck, bro.
You gotta give someone.
Send them over.
Nah, bro. You've got to really give someone.
Somebody that'll actually miss.
Someone that'll hurt, bro. You're getting Gunther.
Yeah,
I know.
Let me check the AEW roster real fast. Let's do a package deal, bro. Send over Ricky and Andrade.
Stop cheating, bro.
Stop cheating. I'm giving them Ricky, Andrade, and Malachi Black. Let me see.
You're cheating. You're cheating.
Let me see the fucking roster, bro.
Who would I choose?
I'll even throw FTR in there.
My immediate reply was nasty, and I'll take it back, even though I didn't actually say it.
You won't be safe. You won't be safe.
You would have took your one guess. I
wouldn't give up Danielson. I wouldn't give up. They wouldn't even take Jericho for Walter, but I wouldn't give up Jericho either. I wouldn't give up Claudio.
You won't give
up Claudio? I think I've answered this before, and I've said Miro.
Bro, Claudio's doing the best shit of his career. I love Claudio, bro. I've always had.
Gunther, bro.
They'll fucking bury him over there, bro. I want to see him in high level matches doing his fucking thing. Like,
right. I wouldn't swap Claudio and Gunther because I'd want them in the same company.
I want to see that fucking match, though. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, didn't they have like a crazy match at a house show in the UK?
Probably. Yeah, they did. They did it.
I
It
remember that
wasn't in
being
the UK. I
recorded.
think it was in Europe. They had a match at a house show and people went nuts over it. And I don't think they ever released footage of it.
I wouldn't give up Eddie.
God, fuck no.
Fuck. Would I give them Jay White for Walter, bro?
Oh.
Would I do it? I'd have to poke around. I might do it, bro.
If he takes the guns with him, then
I
maybe.
might give
When
him.
I'll probably let you take your pick. To be honest, I'll be like, okay, you can't have the Elite because that'll just upset too many people.
Yeah.
You can't have Eddie, and you can't have Danielson.
I would say no to Mox as well.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
that
saying
Mox
no
would
to
go back
Mox.
anyway.
Okay, fine. Okay, good. Mox won't go the other way anyway.
I might think
will cancel the deal.
For it to be somewhat fair, I might give them King Switch, bro. And I love Jay White, but
It's Gunther, man.
That is a good trade.
Gunther.
But hey, that first trade of Andrade, Malachi Black, and Ricky Starks, I feel like WWE would say yes.
What about the Lucha Bros? Would that be fair?
The Lucha Bros?
Penta and
It would hurt for me to see them go, but I would do it.
Yeah.
It would hurt me a lot.
I feel like that's a trade I could do.
Oh, I'd give them MJF for Walter. I saw Jenny Omega again in the comments. Even as a new MJF fan.
Yeah, MJF. I didn't name a lot of people. Like MJF, Mox, Danielson, Eddie, and the Elite. Are they like the untouchables?
Mm.
Is there anyone else in like the untouchable category that we've missed? I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
It's like the main top stars, then Eddie.
Yeah.
because we love Eddie. Fuck, Gunther's just amazing. Like, if it was my actual promotion, not AEW, look, I'd let you take the Elite. You know, you could have anyone. You can take anyone for Gunther, brother. You know, I fucking love Gunther.
They could do. I would do the Elite for Gunther if they also threw in Ilya Dragunov.
Look,
I feel like that's fair.
If I'm gonna give up a top end star for Walter, I'm putting a clause in his contract. You gotta gain 20 pounds, brother. Whether you get on the gas or whether you eat Big Macs, I don't care. Whether it be all steroids or it's all fat, I don't care. You gotta gain 20 pounds, my nigga.
Listen, I like Darby a lot. But bro, if I got offered Gunther for Derby, I'm driving Derby to the airport myself, bro. I can't count. I like Derby a lot. I love Derby.
I love Derby, bro. I fucking love Derby, bro.
But Gunther's like
it's Big Man Walter.
Gunther's like one of the best heels I've ever seen. You know, so, I do love Derby.
I want Gunther to
get wrestling Hitler on Wednesday nights.
Imagine them two fighting, wrestling each other.
That would be. Darby has a babyface in peril versus fucking Walter, man. Would you imagine what one fucking chop would do to Darby's chest? Just fucking cave in.
But yeah, we had a bit of fun with that one. Shout out, Will. Appreciate you as always. Showtime Spurs $2. Britt Baker versus Megan Bayne. Let's go.
Is Megan Bayne even signed to Stardom?
I don't think so, but she has been featured very strongly since being there. So, you know, I clearly see something. You know, she could end up signed. I don't know. Maybe if Jamie's still in law chat, he can tell us. But yeah, I've heard pretty good things about Megan Bayne and her the start to her run in Stardom. So, but her versus Britt Baker, I don't know about that, brother.
Yeah,
that'd be a choice.
Hey, this is a bit crazy. But you're up.
No. All right. Richard Starks, $2 super chat. Abel whips me harder than Brian did. Yo, if you look at Backup Hangman's recent tweets,
support
there's no
these
reason to not
claims.
believe it. There's no reason not to believe that, man. Hangman's been living the gimmick.
All right, Jamie is Joshi correspondent. Megan Bayne, she's just there for a tour, as most Gaijins are.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Be interesting to see where Mariah May ends up. You know, a lot of talk with her going to AEW. It seems like that. Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like that's very close to at least a done deal by now, you know. So,
I can't wait.
And she had a good run in Stardom, so
Yeah.
stuff, man. Good stuff. All right. Ace Steel has been released by AEW.
Yeah.
He was released earlier today, according to PW Insider. Of course, he was in a coach/producer role, but a very unique kind of role because he was working remotely. Of course, working remotely as a consequence, as you know, his involvement in All Out, Brawl Out last year. You know, people remember the reports that he beat Kenny Omega that was flying around. I believe he threw a chair at Matt or Nick Jackson or something. It was claimed. So of course he got fired. That was his initial consequence for that. He got fired. You know, he got released from his contract when Punk was suspended, and then he came back when Punk came back, as like I said, as a remote coach producer role. You know, and of course it was something that Punk reportedly was fighting for, and it was kind of it may have even been a reason why his return took a little longer than it may have originally been planned to. So, you know, he was definitely one of Punk's guys. Clearly, you know. Some people may remember his promo before Punk's match against Moxley, where he motivates him.
It was pretty bad.
Nah, that was beast, bro. I'm sorry, man, but that
pretty bad.
Bro. Nah, that rule, bro. When he goes marching through the crowd in Chicago. Listen, I ain't talking about he's gone now. But yeah, Ace Steel's been released, man. He's been kicked out of there. I wonder if it was a thing that he requested or whether Tony just thought, nah, I'm getting him out of there. But yeah, AO, you've already kind of started a victory lap on this. But yeah, you got anything? You got any like takes or anything on it? Or
Don't have anything to yell about this today, but just know if I did, I would. But you know, the chemotherapy has worked in all elite wrestling.
I got worried where that was going.
The tumor has been cut out of AEW. You feel me? Bro, if you have such a like a divisive presence that he can't come to fucking TV, can't even come to collision tapings. He's so divisive. But cut loose, bro. You literally rehired to placate CM Punk. Like, what the fuck? Like, you don't need his weed carrier here anymore. It is what it is. Anybody who feels bad for him, don't be mad at AEW. Be mad at CM Punk because he caused his friend that job. If it was just normal, CM Punk would still have a job. He still have a job. Yeah, everything would be fine, bro. But he couldn't be normal. He just couldn't do it. So he took food out of his friend's kid's mouth. It is what it is.
Yeah, Charlie, I don't think anyone's really that surprised by this. You know?
Nah. The fact that it says released and not like terminated makes me think that they probably just came to an agreement on it. Like,
Yeah,
why would he
agreement.
care to be there? Because like it did kind of feel like he wanted to go back for Punk and Punk wanted him there. And now that Punk's not there, it's like, what else is he gonna really do when, like, as it's been reported, a lot of the talent backstage don't like him. So
yeah, definitely it was a divisive. He would have been a divisive presence because, of course, it's the same as Punk. You know, he was involved in the exact same fight that Punk was involved in. You know, so I'm sure they don't see it much differently backstage. But yeah, Ace Steel. It was also noted that there'd been talk over the last month that AEW is looking into a space in Florida for Ace Steel to train and work with talents, but obviously that will not come to pass. So
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Bro, he was there to indoctrinate young talent with his bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of my country. Company. Get out of my country, too.
That was crazy. Where did that come from?
Get out of my fucking country.
Damn. Tapping into his inner Trumper, bro. That was crazy.
Bill,
that rolled off the tongue too comfortably, you know? That's crazy. All right, the last thing I kind of wanted to, let's call it the last thing. I'll kick around. You know, we've done 90 minutes so far, but let's kind of want to briefly talk about what's next for the Elite, because as we kind of, like, as I mentioned earlier, the bunch of losers at the moment. You know, the Bucks have lost their big title match at Wembley, and you know they're leaning heel. You know, I guess you would be pretty fair to assume that they eventually turn heel and have another heel tag team title run with the belts after defeating FTR. Of course, Hangman, he's spoken for at the moment. He's going to be dealing with Swerve for the next few weeks, months, you can imagine. Kenny, we've talked about him briefly, but look, what do we actually think he's going to be doing? Because I'm quite stumped because he's been pinned by Takeshita twice. So it's like, does he try and get the win back? Does he move on to something else and try and move out and forget about this Don Callis stuff? Does he, you know, like what are we doing? You know, what are we doing with Kenny? Like, what do we think's logically next for him, based off stuff that we've already seen? And I guess what would we fantasy book at this moment? Like, who would you like to see him wrestle at Wrestle Dream? Who would you want to see him go against at Grand Slam? Who do you want to see him do week-to-week TV with? You know? Ayo, start with you and put it on your toes.
Fuck,
Kenny Omega. Next feud, next program, next match.
You got Wrestle Dream creeping, though. Whatever he does next, I think he needs to win. I wouldn't jump into the Jay White program. Not so soon. Honestly, bro, if I had the book, and it's probably not the best booking and the most inspired booking, I'd keep this Takeshi thing going.
It does make sense. Like, they can make it work either way. I'm just kind of the mind of he's been stuck in this fucking Don Callis verse for like forever now. Like, and I would like to see him like just do something a little bit fresher for like a couple of months before they circle back.
Zora Hart said Ricky needs a top face.
Hey, man.
That's a program we've never gotten before. That could be. I would like to see, as someone who does not enjoy Ricky's bell-to-bell work, I would like to see what Ken can get out of him.
Yeah.
A big spot.
Oh, Ricky's good, man.
I don't agree. I honestly don't agree. Like, agendas aside, I honestly don't agree.
He's good. He's a good worker. He's also.
He's a fantastic TV character, TV presence, all that shit. and then, you know, bell rings. I'm not saying he's a fucking gun club or anything, but.
I like some of my favorite things about Ricky and Ring is like he's very much a man of details. Like you'll do like the little things with his selling or when he's getting heat and stuff that pops the nerds like me, you know.
I will say though, when Ricky's in the ring with somebody who's clearly better than him, he rises to the occasion more times than not. Like it's not. It's just his issues. Like when he's in there when he has to make something happen on his own. No.
I think it's because he's not the most like athletically explosive and exciting. Like his moveset hasn't got to. So if he's in there with someone who can't like connect the dots with him, you know, his matches can kind of be like mundane and just kind of be and just pass by, you know. But the work will always be like tight. Do you know what I mean? But
if there wasn't like the complications of like the other members of House of Black, I really did want to see like a Kenny Malachi singles match. I think that could be something special.
Yeah, definitely, it would be cool. You know, like if we could. Obviously, it was going around on Twitter the other day, but Malachi hasn't wrestled a singles match in like over 440 days, and a lot of people were kind of like batting this away, like, "Oh well, his back hurts, and that's why he's doing trios and stuff." And he's like, "Bro, if he's getting cleared, you know, to wrestle in these trios matches, like you can wrestle a singles match every now and again." You would assume. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But you would assume that, you know, if you can do a trios tag title run, wrestling every other week or whatever, you would assume that he, at least, you know, on the pay-per-views or something like that, you can build to a singles match for him. But clearly not, because he hasn't wrestled a singles match in over 440 days, which you know.
And it would be really cool, like, because if like the Bucks and Hangman have other things they're going to be doing on Wrestle Dream, like Kenny and two New Japan talents against House of Black could be really fun if they choose like the right people for it. I feel like that could be something really cool that they could do.
Bro. His last match in New Japan, he teamed up with Okada. You could do Dream Team and Kenny, Okada, Tanahashi, Kenny versus.
Do the Okada Kenny tag again, like at the start of the year. That fucking brawl that did. because the Japanese crowd didn't know Kenny was going to be there for the
Second night.
That shit was fucking awesome.
beast.
Yeah, he came out and then the coin dropped. Oh, that was fucking beast.
Godler. Yeah, there's something very special about seeing them two on screen together.
Yeah.
Whether it's in New Japan or whether we get it in AEW one day or on a pay-per-view or something, But yeah, there's just, it's history. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just, and it's very different to like the Ibushi history or something like that, because it's like, that's more like lore, as great as like his matches with Ibushi were and how great the stories are told were, like, it is more of kind of like a lore thing. Whereas like Okada, it's like, of course, many people make the argument that they had the best series of matches of all time, and it was this transformative thing for the business, and it led to X, Y, and Z. And if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't get this or that. And it's like that all comes together when you see them together on screen. At least that was kind of what I was feeling when I saw them. Was it New Year's Dash? When they done like the special All-Star tag thing. It was just kind of like crazy. It was just kind of like, this is kind of crazy seeing them two, So
Yuzuru Hart said we saw Ken in trios against Malachi this year, though. I know, I was there for that match, and it was great. So like throwing him in with like Tanahashi and Okada, bro, like it would be fucking fun. Like shows like this, you just sometimes have to book fun things. Like
definitely can get away with it.
Yeah,
definitely can get away with it.
It'd just be, and like Malachi going after Kenny again, just like, oh, your friends are tied up in other things, like who's gonna help you now? Like, it'd just be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be for it, man. But yeah, of course, like I said, Young Bucks, we assume as it stands that they're turning heel and defeating FTR. How do you actually see that playing out, though, Charlie? Like, how do you see the steps getting there?
I think I was actually talking to AO about this the other day. I think they're gonna keep like teaming together for like at least a couple of weeks, and then something's gonna happen in a match, and the Bucks are just gonna kick their heads off, and it's gonna get them some major heat because the fans love FTR, man. Like it's undeniable. So them turning on FTR and like, especially if they're like close to winning a match, like the Bucks, like if there's like a misfire and the Bucks are just like fuck it, whatever. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Do you think they could potentially go the angle like the Bucks just get sick of losing?
Yeah.
And it's just, they fucked off one too many times, and it's just that all the frustrations on poor Dax, Yeah.
Especially if they do like another 8-man and say like this time like say like Nick takes the pin, and then like so Wheeler's taking the pin, Nick, or like it'll probably be Matt actually because Matt always takes the fucking pin. And then, like, in, like, a third, like, 8-man or 10-man, whatever the fuck they end up doing, like, they get into, like, a little bit of an altercation because someone almost gets pinned or whatever, and the Bucks just, like, yeah, get the fuck out. Like, good stuff.
Yeah.
In theory. It hasn't happened, but
in
good stuff in my head.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of the way you assume it would go.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting. I guess there's something to be said that they didn't do the heel tag title run again, So it's like, how can they make it different from last time? As good as as great as it was, I guess like the artistic, creative side of Nick and Matt, like they wouldn't want to just do a copy and paste run, but they would want to do something that's at least, distinctively different in that sense.
I think the main thing that will be different about this one is that they're doing it as the Young Bucks themselves, not just Young Bucks part of the Elite sort of thing, because they're all doing their separate stuff right now. So like they may end up like teaming with the others and like being in segments together and whatever, like in like the coming weeks or whatever. But them doing a tag title run where they're solely focused on that and not wrapped up in like the actual like Elite segments all the time and doing like the big like 10-mans that they used to do and that sort of thing. Right. I think that could be really cool to see them actually like solely focused on the tag division.
Yeah, it's like they've done that interview a couple of weeks ago. It's like we want to remind people who the Young Bucks are, who the fuck we are. We're the best tag team of the generation. So hopefully they can, spread the wings and do that. And we all know they'll get given the opportunity to if they want it, because of course it's the fucking Young Bucks, So yeah, the Elite will be interesting to kind of see how they go on these different paths. You know, although obviously haven't split up or anything, but you know, they're going on separate journeys at the moment. So, AO, you got anything you want to add about the Elite? What you want to see them do? What you want to see them not do?
Just the greatest collection of wrestlers that we'll see this lifetime and the next. Elite Gang or Don't Bang, whatever they do, it's gonna be fucking magic, brother. It's gonna be magic.
Yeah, man. Like I was saying, AEW Dynamite, good show. Good show. A good show when they needed it, much like AEW All Out was a good show when they absolutely needed it. Of course, not just because of the CM Punk stuff, of course, that everyone will be talking about. Of course, CM Punk was fired on Saturday evening. So, you know, that was kind of like
what was that
looming
you just
over.
said, Monty?
CM Punk was fired by AEW on Saturday.
Oh my god. Oh, that chills down my spine every time I hear
it. But yeah, that of course was hanging over the weekend, and no, there was all that. But you know, also following Wembley and doing back-to-back pay-per-views, so All Out being as good as it was such like a great thing for them and their core audience and the people that like want to see them do well and have been, you know, backing them all this time. And as Doc said, after such a crazy weekend, and then to go into Dynamite as well. Dynamite, good show. You know, from like I said, from top to bottom, we got some storyline progression, we got some new storylines, we got this, we got that. It was a good show, it was an exciting show. Haven't seen much, if any, criticisms of it, to be honest. And you know, we know people are more than happy to be very loud about the criticisms. You know, there's a few stuff that I would say is pretty easy to bat away. You know, I'm all for calling out AEW fans when they're just like coping and just kind of like being naive and stuff, but. You know, like when people were trying to criticize the Chris and Emmy match being short, of course, we already talked about that earlier. Like there is sometimes, you know, there is a time and a place for short matches. The stuff with Aussie Open, Charlie, we talked about that earlier as well. You know, but even if those were like really super valid, blatant issues with the show, it's like they're two quite minor things in the grand scheme of things. You know, so good show. Home run, another one when AEW needs it, and it seems like they've got a lot coming out of Wembley, making the decision to get rid of Punk and then putting on such a great show, and then following it up with AEW Dynamite. It feels like AEW have a lot of momentum and good faith with their core audience right now. People really want to see them, like, you know, burst into an upward trend and, you know, be really hot again and heat things up again and capture that special AEW energy, you know. So yeah, a lot of good faith amongst the core audience, but the core audience is a core audience, isn't it? You know, it'll be interesting to see how they turn this momentum and perception amongst like the AEW hardcores into actual tangible upward trends. You know, we've mentioned about 7 times on this podcast about the Grand Slam ticket sales under 6K at the moment. Dynamite next week, so it's at like 1,700 people. It's brutal, you know. So for all the positives, you need to turn them into actual like tangible upward trends. You know, ticket sales is an issue. So an exciting time, but you'll be interested to see how they actually pick it up in a literal sense. You know. But yeah, if we got anything else anyone wants to touch on, you got any other stuff you want to get off, Charlie? Anything at all? But I think we can wrap up. I think we're good. WrestlePurists Fabrizio Romano, $5. Appreciate it. Breaking. Ace Steel and CM Punk are currently in negotiations to sign with Al Hilal in the Saudi League. Here we go. Hey,
man, there's a lot of money coming out of the Saudi League nowadays.
Get paid, brother. Wish him the best on the future endeavors, you know.
Let's not go that far.
I'm speaking for myself. Yeah, man, that was the AEW Dynamite recap. We talked about Thunder Rosa a little bit. Talked about the Elite and what's next for them. And, of course, we talked about Ace Steel's release from AEW. I should be back tomorrow with Joe Hulbert in the afternoon. We're going to talk like news updates. So we'll get into a few of the things that we spoke to today, but with a bit more detail, I guess. And any other stuff that's been coming out over the past couple of days. Of course, Observer newsletter. Unless anything goes wrong, that's coming out tomorrow. So if anything interested in there, we're going to get into that as well. Myself and Joe Hulbert. But yeah, please like the video if you haven't already. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We appreciate all the super chats as usual. Please turn on the post notifications. And of course, tomorrow, myself and Joe Hulbert will be doing WrestlePurists Live. Maybe there might be an episode of Unpurist, but I'm not sure at the moment. AO is no longer the responsible uncle of Unpurist, you know. So
Gone away from those hooligans, podcast-wise. So I can't sell y'all a wolf ticket, but I will push them to get a show on tomorrow. So if there is, look for that. Look for that.
100%. But yeah, as always, appreciate everyone for watching. Please like, subscribe. Appreciate all the super chats, and we always appreciate the continued support from one of the best audiences in this space. Absolutely. But again, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.